8 tragic moments when animals get electrocuted. Unfortunately, animals have a knack for putting themselves in dangerous situations. Because they are constantly in search of food, they often end up in undesirable places. If you want to see what happens when animals get too close to electric power, sit tight as you get shocked watching our countdown of 8 tragic moments when animals get electrocuted. Number 8. Cow get electric shock. You don't always have to climb in an electric pole to get a shock. You can see what I mean when this cow steps into a puddle of water right next to an electric pole and crumbles to the ground and dies. Because the ions in the water are extremely conductive. Electricity and water are a dangerous combination. This results in an electrical shock, possibly of a more severe nature. Any body of water can become an electrical shock hazard if an electrical source is submerged. This cow finds out soon enough not to go out wandering too close to the electric fence when he gets a small shock and backs away. I guess, after a few of those. Number 7. Pigs touch electric fence. Pigs are intelligent animals, and it won't take time before they learn the consequences of touching an electric fence. But this little pig touches the fence inadvertently and runs off after he does. This is a small enclosure, so it's not easy to stay away from the fence. These young pigs are out in the pasture for the first time after an electric fence has been installed in. One of the pigs, the black one, gets the scare of his life. Number 6. Horse touching electric fence. This wild Mustang makes contact with an electric fence for the first time and jumps out of there abruptly. But the owner of the horse expected a much bigger reaction from the horse. The horse gets close to the fence once again, but doesn't get shocked this time around. I guess he's learned his lesson. This BLM Mustang would shoot through the topwood poles of his fence to escape to the highway. The owners installed an electric fence around the perimeter of the property to protect the horses and people commuting on the road. The other horses, which include quarter horses, mountain horses and Arabian horses, were also chewing on the wood, but were unable to escape. Number 5. Bird zapping. These birds meet at the top of an electric pole, but one of the birds is unlucky and gets zapped. The birds fall to the ground and the person filming approaches the bird. The bird is stunned but is still alive, and after a few seconds it even manages to fly away. I hope it learned its lesson. You can see how close this little bird is to being zapped, and when he is, he just disappears. Number 4. Bear shocked. A determined young adult black bear sneaks past the electrical fence drawn by the sweet aroma of honey. The entire episode was captured on security and trail cameras. After returning 2 more times, you can see the bear trying to move the container, which causes him to get close to the fence and take a shock. He runs off faster than he came in the big era, turns only to be disappointed again. I guess this fence is effective and prevents pests like bears and other animals from stealing valuable merchandise. This bear is climbing up the wrong tree, but when he gets the shock of his life, he panics and tries to avoid more shocks. But at one point he gets a powerful shock, which sends him falling straight to the ground. I don't know if he looks like this bear running away with most of his bum burns, or if he even survived. This bear is trying to get this food, but he knows something is not right. He knows the fence is the enemy, so he tries digging a hole, so he can get under the fence and straight to the food. That's pretty crafty. Number 3. Dog gets shocked. This German Shepherd gets all excited when he sees something, but as soon as he touches the fence, he gets the shock of his life. His friends come to see what happened and ask him what's going on. He explains to them that his owner is a crackpot and he's rigged a fence to give him shocks. The dogs tell the shepherd they need to get him out of there. The 3 of them can plan they will execute at sundown. This dog is curious and wants to get across. So we can play with the cows, but the second he touches the fence, he runs the other way. I guess he found out the hard way that cows are not to be spoken to. This Doberman approaches an invisible electric fence, and the second he gets too close, he feels the pain. He has no idea what just happened, and he's wondering if it's the cow's fault. He tries to figure out what just went wrong, but he's not willing to give it another shot. Number 2. Squirrel shocked by electric fence. No, this squirrel is not practicing a trapeze act for the circus. This little guy gets the shock of his life when he makes contact with an electric fence. I'm surprised it didn't send him flying, but I guess the shock is strong enough to discourage the squirrel from staying there, but not dangerous enough to knock him out. This pesky squirrel tries to steal fruit from a bird feeder, but when the feeder zaps him, he falls to the ground and gets zilch. The birds can now feed in peace. Well, think again. The squirrel is stubborn and keeps coming back and tries to find a way to avoid being shocked. But when he reaches for the feeder by placing one leg on the wire, he gets zapped again. But this guy doesn't give up easily, and he keeps going back, and because all of the chaos he caused caused food has fallen to the ground, and the squirrel's perseverance has paid off. You can see at one point he gets zapped and his body jolts and freezes for a few seconds. Maybe he thinks the shocks are good for him, because nothing stops this feisty squirrel to go back for more, and he finally figures out how to eat without getting shocked, but it's not easy, because he has to hold on in a certain way, and it's easy to fall. He deserves full marks for his determination. Number 1. Lions get shocked during hunt. While on safari in South Africa, Sabi Sands Game Reserve, which brought us the Kruger National Park, Ernest Porter, a safari guide and his guests tracked 2 lionesses to a waterbuck, which they discovered lying in the grass, with the 2 lionesses just a few meters away, but the lionesses appeared hesitant to attack due to an electrical fence beside the antelope. They assumed they chased it to the fence, ran full speed into the waterbuck, and then stopped, because they were shocked. The lionesses were only a few meters away from the waterbuck, but they refused to attack. Electric fences are necessary in game reserves due to animals damaging equipment and thefts, but they do occasionally interfere with the animals' natural behavior. They waited to see what would happen, and eventually one lion jumped on the waterbuck, touched the fence, was shocked, and jumped off the waterbuck perplexed. She then returned to the waterbuck and resumed her hunts. The video shows the befuddled lions being zapped by the fence and looking around trying to figure out what is going on. Despite the fence's limited protection, the lioness killed the waterbuck after being shocked several times during the attack. This lion had been electrocuted by this fence, and he's just laying on the ground. The fence is just supposed to be a deterrent, so the shock is not that strong, but this lion looks dead. I hope it's not the case. Well, that's our countdown of the 8 tragic moments when animals get electrocuted. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the stunning 5s on the notification icon, so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.